All right, mate.
All right, yeah, and that's the B side of that, or the double A side of that single is the track "Rape Me," which is a real sing-along.
It is. We've actually played that. We have actually played that. It's
what a strange record that is.
It's not on this this CD. So listen, obviously, like Lard did a detailed weather forecast till dawn tomorrow. Now you've driven up today.
Yeah, but it was very nice. I drove up this afternoon, and very nice weather.
Oh, right.
Because I was in a car, obviously.
Yes,
if I'd have walked, it would have been very cold, I should imagine.
Yes, but sometimes the weather outside the car does have an effect on how fast you can actually travel, as I believe is happening to
Sure,
Deborah.
I saw Ranulph Fiennes walking up the M1.
Right, yeah. And Debbie Harry has apparently had some trouble. She's been trying to get all day from Stonehenge, and they had to hire a new van.
Why was she at Stonehenge?
Well, I was trying to work this out, really. Maybe she wanted to see Stonehenge.
Yeah, that's what Americans do when they come over, don't they?
And let's face it,
I'm from Wiltshire, which is very near Stonehenge,
right.
and never... Well, Stonehenge is in Wiltshire, it's not very near, it's, you know, it's actually there. And no one I know has ever seen Stonehenge, but, you know, people travel thousands and thousands of miles to see it, which is a bit weird.
Weird, isn't it? You never go and look at what's on your own doorstep.
It's not on my doorstep. I would have noticed it if it was on my doorstep.
And how interesting is a pint of milk? Anyway, so what are you going to be talking about later? Because obviously the word came back last week.
The word came back, but I've been up to lots of other things. I've been to a lot of gigs. I went to the Q Awards, which I know Katie talked about last week, and were incredibly dull.
Right.
And also reviewed the singles of the year for the NME, so I'll be talking about some of those things if I get time later on.
Oh, right. Are you going to... have you included a late edition Stereo Lab French Disco?
We didn't pick the singles, but I would have done, because I think it's fantastic. It's the best thing I've ever done.
Absolute belter in it. It is an absolute belter. OK, I mean, we got Deborah Harry on it, and you know when we had... was you here when we had Sparks on? I can't forget.
No, I was here when Aerosmith was.
You were here with Aerosmith, right. We had Sparks on, and people were phoning up all day saying, the Sparks really could... God, the Sparks really... And it's been the same today with
I'm not
Deborah
surprised.
Harry.
I once sort of met Deborah Harry when I went to a gig, and you know that song, what's it called? I Want That Man.
Yeah.
And when she sang the line, I want to be kissed from head to toe by the man in the very back row, she pointed directly at me. But it was a big sort of sweeping semicircle of a point that could have been taken by any man in the audience.
She could have meant you.
She could have done, and
tonight,
I like to think she did.
Well, tonight we may be able to test this out.
Yeah, I'll ask her. If she comes in and goes, it's him!
It's him, I want that man. Man. Right, well, we'll test that out a bit later on. Excellent. Welcome back. This is Mark Radcliffe, live from the Palace of Glittering Delights in Manchester. Still to come, more live in session from Sheffield's various vegetables. Clint Boone from Inspiral Carpets reading Alice in Wonderland. The latest, the second in our instalment in our new series about, well, sort of advice, really, for aspiring rock musicians, what with being stone deaf and everything. And Deborah Harry should be here. Well, I don't know. She's been travelling, and as we've heard, the travelling conditions. But as I say, you know, Dave Brock's at the helm, so I'm sure he'll steer a steady course and arrive bang on schedule.
Mark Radcliffe! He's dead clever and great! Mark Riley! He's not.
Right, as you know, we've been training the fact that Deborah Harry is going to be on the programme tonight. And, well, I'm embarrassed about this because, you know, last night Dave Brock didn't turn up and I told you he was. And tonight I told you Deborah Harry was going to turn up. And unfortunately, she isn't. And I'll tell you for why. It's because they've had this nightmare journey all day. 2 vans have broken down. They had to hire another bus. All this kind of gubbins going on. The weather on the M4, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to give you excuses because I didn't want to hear it myself. But that's the long, tall and short of it. She's just arrived in Manchester and she's at a hotel across town. So we're going to talk to her on the telephone before the end of the programme, and she's promised that she will come in tomorrow night when she's playing the Manchester Apollo, which is just down the road. So I don't think even a guest of our programme can get lost between the Manchester Apollo and the studios. But still here, down in the basement studio, are the various vegetables. Joe, you're still here, aren't you?
Yeah, not quite as pretty, though.
No, I don't know. In a certain light. Hopefully now, as I've been saying, Deborah Harry was due to join us on the programme tonight, but she's had a terrible day, so I believe. She should be on the phone. Deborah, are you there?
Yes, I'm finally here.
Right, so you've just arrived in Manchester about, what, 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, I finally got here. I can't believe it was such a long day.
So tell us about your day, and then we'll let you get some kip, you know, we'll see you tomorrow. But so what time did you set off and where from this morning?
I think we set off around 12, I don't know, quarter to 12, 12:30.
Right.
Somewhere in there. And 12 hours later,
right.
after, you know, we got sent all over the place to get... I mean, the motorway was completely closed.
Right. So you've seen Stonehenge along the way, did you?
Yeah, we saw Stonehenge, and we sat there in the parking lot waiting for our replacement vehicle to arrive because the transmission went out.
Oh, right. And then did you have to change vehicles again later on?
No, just the one time.
Oh, just the one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny, isn't it? you know, after all this time you've been playing in bands, you would think by now they could get you a decent van.
You'd think so.
You really would think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, how's it been going so far? Because you played what? You played 2 shows, Cambridge and Bournemouth, have you, so far?
Yeah, we had a warm-up in Jersey, and we had Bournemouth and Cambridge, yeah.
And
right. Yes, everything's going along quite well. I mean, as you know, the cities are so different. The audiences are so different.
Yeah.
In every place, so.
Right.
Well, Bournemouth was a lot of fun. Cambridge was kind of stayed.
Right, no fun at all is what you're politely trying to say at this point. So, I mean, you've got a sort of it's a very small sort of acoustic-based band. Who's in it this time?
Well, it's not really acoustic.
Is it not?
It's electric.
Right.
And it's 4 people. It's myself, Chris Stein, Greta Brinkman, Pete Min, and James Murphy.
Right, okay then. So you're on in Manchester tomorrow night, and hopefully, if the show goes down at a reasonable time, you can come in and see us tomorrow night.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think you'll have to, you know, because everybody's going to be well disappointed if you don't turn up tomorrow, Debs, you know what I mean? So you're gonna have to come in tomorrow night. We've got Ray Davies from the Kinks in tomorrow night as well. Do you like the Kinks stuff?
Oh, yeah, I know Ray.
You know Ray, do you?
Of course, I've toured with him.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be a nice reunion, because he's here as well. Although no one's turning up for us these days, Deborah, you know, so he may or may not be here. Okay, right, well, we'll let you have some hot chocolate, or whatever it is you do at this time of night, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for phoning anyway. All right, Deborah Harry, see you, and she'll be on the programme, hopefully, tomorrow night.